Hello everyone and welcome to this edition of Investing and Trading Live. As always, my name is Josh Lilquist. Today is Labor Day. The date will be September 4th. Markets are closed today. I repeat, markets are closed today, so there is nothing live going on right now in the markets. What we'll do here today is we're going to cover a couple things. We're going to cover some of the things to consider when choosing the right asset to trade or invest with, and we'll also try to, if we can get into the platform, we will get into and see a monthly update on some of the major indexes. As always, there's a lot going on in the markets right now, and with this great volatility brings great opportunities. So that being said, let's just start to discuss what to consider when choosing an asset to trade and invest with. So there are a few things. One, how much time do you have? What time of day will you be trading and investing? Now, what does that mean? Well, bless you. Now, what does that mean? So, with stocks, there's a certain amount of capital that is required to trade stocks. SEC regulations are if you want to trade more than 4 times per week, you're required to have $25,000 in your trading account, and it can't go below that. They'll cut you off if you get to that point. So the amount of money you need to trade stocks is actually the most expensive to trade and invest with. Now, there are leveraged assets. As it sounds, I am in the airport right now. I'm traveling right now, so hopefully that's not too much of a disruption, but brings it more normal here for you guys. But so if you're going to use less than $25,000, you may want to use a leveraged asset class. Now, what does that mean? It means your dollars go further. You can use a smaller amount of capital to control a much larger asset. Futures, Forex, options would be the two leveraged assets, and you can use less capital in there. So, for example, in the options market, you have up to 10-to-1 leverage. So basically, every dollar that you have, you can control up to $10 in that market. Futures up to 20-to-1 leverage, Forex up to 50-to-1 leverage. Now, will you ever use that whole leverage? Probably not. But some of the things to consider is using some of that, which is buying power, which is capital efficiency. So your dollars will go further in those markets. So capital is one of those things to consider. Time of day as well. So basically, if you work during the day, it is probably pretty difficult to trade stocks. That being open, Central Time Zone would be 8:30 until 3 o'clock. Eastern, 9:30 until 4 o'clock. So it's difficult to trade and invest if you have a regular job, like a regular person during the day. Now, well, I guess I shouldn't say regular because there's other jobs, so there's no such thing as regular these days. But if you work during the day, you're restricted to those hours. The futures market and the Forex market is open 24 hours a day, which allows flexibility of time. But also, if you want to short-term trade, you would want to be doing that in the time that it's the most busy, which means the most liquid. So, for example, obviously with the stock market, if you're in a short-term trade, probably in the morning between 8:30 and maybe noon or so, it starts to slow down, and then it might pick up towards the end of the day again. So there's more liquidity at those times. Futures market, obviously in the morning, maybe we'll say 5 a.m. Central Time up to noon, same thing as stock market. And then also it is a 24-hour market, so it is open around the clock. Forex is also open around the clock. Good rule of thumb with that, you have the London session opening up at 2 a.m. Central Time, so it'd be 2 a.m. At that point where it's, I believe, 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning in London. So there's volatility from middle of the night, early morning, all the way throughout the whole day because it's the largest market in the world. It trades roughly between $5 and $7 trillion traded per day, which means it is very liquid. You don't see gaps as much as you do with the the stock market. With the 24-hour market, those, with it being open roughly almost 24 hours a day, you won't see that gap like it does with the stock market every single day. So those are your times that are maybe the best opportunities or better opportunities to trade, whether it's short term. If you're going to trade longer term, it quite frankly doesn't matter, but it's nice to have a market that's open 24 hours. That gives you the time of the flexibility of time. You're not stuck to a certain time frame. That way, if somebody works during the day, they can do it in the evening. Someone works in the morning, they can do it in the afternoon, whatever that may be. It's actually open. So time is another thing to consider. So you have capital, time, and really, what is your purpose? What are you using it for? Like, what is your goal with the market? If you're going to longer term invest, yes, stocks they're designed for longer term, but it requires a lot more capital. If you're going to look for more of an income strategy, it might be advantageous to use a leveraged asset, a 24-hour market that are more short-term in nature, especially like futures. So it's more as pay me now instead of pay me in 20 years. So those are a few things to consider when going into the markets and trading and investing in the markets. If you're brand new, or say you've been trading for many years and you're just looking for different things in the market, those are some things to consider. All right. So, as promised, let's do a quick update on these major markets. With the S&P 500 up about 17% on the year to date. Currently at 451.19. So that's where we're going to start the week at tomorrow morning. Actually, it'll start a little different. That's where it closed on Friday. 451.19. That's S&P 500 ETF. Looking at the Dow Jones, that is up 4.98% on the year. Closed on Friday at 348.98. And the NASDAQ currently up 40% on the year. Much higher performer than those other ones. Currently closed at 377.59 with the NASDAQ. IWM closed on Friday at $190.85 per share. Currently up 8.48% on the year. Some other notables: XLE really shot up on Friday, about 2% on Friday. Currently closed pretty flat on the year so far, only 4.39%. Let's go look at USO, which is going to mirror that, up 2.48% on Friday, up 12% on the year. So closing pretty good on the year. It looks more sideways on the price chart, but up 12% on the year. That is going to affect the pump prices. Volatility went up on Friday. It went up about 4% on Friday, but it is down bigly on the year. Crude oil is that's the wrong contract. Gotta look at the right contract. We'll go to gold. Gold spot price closing at $1,936.89. So $1,936.85. Currently up 6% on the year. Silver, $23.98, down on Friday about 0.8%, but basically exactly flat on the year, less than 0.1%. So silver not doing anything. Bitcoin is open right now, down 0.27% on the day, currently at $25,909 per Bitcoin. And then HNT to round out the currency is 1.54, so $1.54. Major notables in the stock market on Friday. Nothing more than 1%. WWE, wow, up 8% on Friday. after showing a few big down days last week, up 8% on Friday, but currently up 8%. Or on the year, we were up 52% on the year. Looking really good for WWE still, even though they had the bad week last week. But there was some competition with the Saudi Arabian group. I forget the holding company purchasing them a share in UFC. 3M at 106. Caterpillar 286, up 1.82% on Friday. Intel was up 4% on Friday. Pretty good Friday, going to the highs of the last couple weeks here. We'll see what happens on Monday or Tuesday when the market opens up. And then to round out the stock market, AMD was up 3.5% on the day. Disney was down 2%. Coinbase down 2% after they had a rough last 5-6 days. Nike up 0.64% and Upstart up 2.42%. Still holding that demand zone that we had talked about. I think it was about 2 weeks ago. We will see what happens with the open on Monday. So that, my friends, is your market update recap, yearly percent recap on the year. And tomorrow we will be back to our regular scheduled shows. We're going to do our best to get one done right before the open, 8:30 Central Time. Currently in Eastern Time Zone right now, so it might show a little different timing right now. But tomorrow we'll do a show at 8:30 before 8:30 a.m. Central Time. We'll get a market pre-cap and some of the movers of the week, and we'll check out the options market as that opens up at 8:30 a.m. As always, collect your profits that are given when they are given to you, and protect your losses when they are small. Until next time, retire young, my friends.